I was a little surprised initially, at all the name calling early on, and the fact that it ended up in such a good place.
Okay, so he called him Rocketman, and Kim called
Right.
him kind of irrational and stuff. That surprised you. That didn't seem like a tactic.
That it ended up in such a great place.
Okay.
But then, now that we're looking at it, I mean, both of these guys are sort of the classic aggressive negotiator.
Okay.
The world kind of splits into three types. One of them is a natural-born aggressive/assertive. That happens to be my default type.
Okay, aggressive assertive is one type.
Right.
And the other two are?
Well, it's fight, flight, make friends. The caveman response to threat was if the caveman saw something and he didn't know what it was, he's either going to fight it, he's going to run from it, he's going to try to make friends with it. Those were the three cavemen that survived.
Okay.
That's how our emotions are wired.
And those are the three kind of types of negotiators
Three
as
types
well?
of negotiators.
Okay.
And
Fight, flight, although...
some would say fight, flight, mate.
Right.
But we fight, flight, make friends.
Okay.
And Trump's a fight guy. I'm a fight guy. That's my natural born type. The other thing, too, is the world splits pretty evenly into thirds. No matter whether you're Asian, whether you're African, whether you're a Latino, wherever you're from, the world splits pretty much evenly into thirds. We've seen it enough, we've tested it enough that we're pretty satisfied with that.
Okay. Is it most likely that two people involved in a high-level negotiation won't be the flight type, or it could be the flight type?
If the world breaks evenly into thirds, then only one out of three times is your counterpart going to be the same as you. In government, most are not fighters. Heads of government, most of them are make friends or flight. Analysts, very analytical. They see conflict as something to be avoided.
Even our leaders.
Most government leaders are avoiders.
They got there by compromise. They're thinking about their career, their image, long-term things.
Right.
Okay. So it's already rare that we got a president that's the aggressive one.
That's an aggressive, yeah.
Okay.
We've had a few in the past, but not with the same exterior. I mean, Ronald Reagan was a fight guy.
Right. But more
Teddy
passive.
Roosevelt, fight guy. Speak softly, carry a big stick. If you're talking about carrying a big stick, you're a fight guy.
Okay. All right, so watching these two behave, it started off with the name calling, then we had kind of a meeting that was on, then it was off, then it was on. You saw the way they behaved with each other, and then you saw the way they both concluded it afterwards. What are some of the elements you see there in negotiation?
Well, not just the elements in this negotiation, but it's also a preview of the future in a number of different ways. They got into details right away. I mean, I think both sides realized that if I let this get too far out of control, if I let the other side start to backtrack and renege on promises or not follow through, this is going to go bad and I'm going to look stupid.
Right.
And I saw President Trump and his crew, his team of core advisors around him, Mike Pompeo, the other people that I think he's listening to on this. I think Mike Pompeo is one of the main ones. They realized that this could go bad in a hurry, so they're not going to let it get an inch out of line. And that's why he initially said, this could go bad. If they don't follow through, we're not even going to go to Singapore. He's signaling the other side, look, don't backtrack. I'm not even going to show. And he also said, look, I'll know in the first few seconds that I'm there whether or not it's going to do any good.
Okay.
What he's signaling to the other side, like the minute we think this is going sideways, we're not going to let you make us look stupid. We're telling the world that we're ready to back out of this in a heartbeat if you don't follow through, if you mess around with this at all. Which I think in this instance, it's a great focus on implementation, and it'll be the one time that we have the best chance at causing North Korea to stick to their promises.
Okay, so that's a good tactic on Trump's part.
I think it's phenomenal.
Because
I'm
it worked.
blown away.
If there was no meeting, we might have said differently, but an impressive tactic, but probably only one that he could have pulled off as an aggressive guy.
Yeah, and also with this focus. I mean, previously, I don't know what's wrong with American presidents. They don't want to dignify the dictator by showing up and sitting down. They're worried about losing face, or then what they're worried about is a previous history of North Korea making promises and not following through with them.
Yeah, they look stupid, and then the whole meeting goes in Kim Jong-un's favor.
Yeah, it's all nonsense.
Now, Trump has always been kind of this profile of, I'm an erratic guy. He's also got a big track record with his business and with buildings with his name on there. So he brings a lot of baggage to the table, maybe that is good for him. Is that something you think he calculates? Because if you're dealing with someone that's erratic, it can be an upper hand in negotiations, right?
Well, he's erratic, but you might refer to him as erratic, but he's not without patterns. Somebody can be erratic and be eminently predictable.
Okay.
Nobody's surprised by that he tweets. Nobody, he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. People are surprised by it. That's ridiculous. He's true to his form. He's true to his type. He continues to do the same thing, which at this point in time, he's like, this is a pattern that's got me this far. It's silly for me to change at this point in time. People wanted him to be a different guy as president of the United States. He's like, why do I change from my pattern of success up to now? That's just, in his thinking, that's silly.
Yeah, and 2 years later, people are starting to think he's crazy like a fox. I mean, people are starting to admire what he can get done, even though no one agreed with or understood the politically incorrect tactics that he did it. But it's starting to look like there's a method to the madness.
And yeah, exactly. And what he can get done, which the assertive negotiator has, and I did this myself, we don't burn bridges, we bomb them.